Hello, good people. Today is a very gloomy Sunday, and I'm making bread, which means that every hour or so I have to check on it like it's a baby. I have to fold it and do things. And I'm really excited because this is my first time doing it alone, and around 6 it will be done for us to have dinner, like bread and butter and tea. It will be so good because today is gloomy, so it's a perfect date for that. Today I want to talk about how an agenda is my therapy lately, or how my agenda has been my Tamagotchi, my own personal Tamagotchi. I have the belief that your calendar is a perfect mirror of your life. It does not lie. Basically, it shows what have you done with your day and what have you done with your week. Usually when you think of agendas, or when I think of agendas, I don't want to talk for you, I'm talking for me. When I think of agendas, I usually don't ask my friends to see their agendas. I usually ask them to see their sketchbooks. But if I think of agendas, I think of this very simple thing with ugly handwriting, right? And lately on on Pinterest, I'm so sorry. On Pinterest, I've been seeing very cute agenda entries. And I was like, what? This is very interesting. These people are creating very pretty agenda pages. And they were using this Hobonichi agenda that's very pretty, so I decided to buy one for me. It's a very small agenda. On the left side, actually this agenda, I bought it just now in February, and this agenda in specific starts in March, which is perfect. So this was the first week of my agenda. And I had high hopes of having pretty pages, but actually I will, if you're on my website listening to this podcast, or on my Patreon, you can just scroll down and see the pictures. My pages, like my first week page, is disgusting. My handwriting is wrong. All the colors I chose are wrong. There are a bunch of things I didn't do. The stickers are very messy, and I'm like, oh my god. And then I go back to that theory of mine that your calendar is a true mirror of your day, of yourself. Like I have to go even further and think that an agenda, the way you write it and do it, is a mirror of your mood and disposition each day or from that week. And when I look at my page, from on the left side I have all the days of the week from Monday to Sunday, and on the right side I have an empty page. So when I look on my left side, I see I had an Icelandic class, I had gym, I had buying washing machine, board game night, feed bug, piano classes, and more than 80% of the things are scratched. I didn't do. Oh god. And I'm like, okay, maybe this week I was in a hurry. Maybe this week I didn't care so much on my agenda. And then I saw that I was sick. So I was like, okay, this is actually how I felt last week. A big old mess. So the thing that I feel that will really make me enjoy this journal, this agenda, is to make it as cute as possible. And instead of just putting the things that I have to do, that like, I don't want it to feel that it's a task generator. I want to also put the things that I did that were nice, like my hobbies. And so on the right side, instead of putting like accounts, like my rent price or something, I will just put my hobbies and maybe some to-dos that I want to do, like that are nice. So I wanted to share with you because for me, sharing makes me happy. Like when I do something and I don't share it, is not like I don't enjoy it so much, but it almost feels like a waste. I know it's sad. It's a bit sad, but I'm just here trying to make it through life, okay? And sharing is a big part of it, so I will share it with you. Basically, if you don't know, this year I decided to take it slow, meaning I will take on projects that take a long time. For example, my comic book, baking bread, making ginger beer, and this Monday I had on my list feed bug. I've been doing this for 3 weeks in a row, and this really feels like I'm feeding my Tamagotchi. Like every time I go to my agenda, I see, oh, I have to feed my bug. And what is this bug? So basically, when you make ginger beer, you have to create a bug of ginger. And this bug is ginger, sugar, and water. So your ginger will feed on the sugar. And eventually you will create this bacteria bug that will create the alcohol and gas in your beer that will make your beer. So after 1 month of potion making, you can make a beer. So this is my 3rd week, and next week is my 4th week. So after that I will be able to make my potion and will truly feel like a witch. And I'm really happy with this. I really feel healed, like, oh my god, I didn't do anything, but I could feed this bug. That is okay. And yes, I think that was the only successful thing I did last week. Oh no, I also had Icelandic class. And I'm making bread today. So that's good. On the right side of my page, I have a drawing of my knitting project. And I drew my progress. So you have a jacket with a left sleeve, and the right sleeve is still in the middle. And I didn't go further on this. So it's still like that. It started like that this week and it ended like that. But because it's a cute drawing, I don't feel bad about it. I'm like, oh, it's cute. If I had write down like make knitting jacket, it will be so sad because that square wouldn't be crossed. And I'm reading, this week I'm still reading the book Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. This is a very interesting book. It's a big book. And basically it's about this gentleman, Mr. Norrell, who is a magician. And he lives in the 19th century in England. And magic people, like people know they exist, even though he's the only one that exists. Many people, like respectable people, study magic. And so far he has woken a woman from the dead. Some statues spoke because of him as well. And I think fairies are trying to screw up everyone's life. Like they're evilish beings that really want you to go crazy. It's been interesting, this book. I really like it. I read it every night before bed and then I fall asleep. So it's perfect. I also watched 3 movies this week that I wanted to tell you. I watched American Beauty with Thomas. I already watched it before. It was his first time. And this movie is about this man, this awful man. He lives in America. He's American. He lives with his wife and his daughter. And he's basically a loser and also a pervert. And he hates his wife. And he says in the beginning of the movie that in 1 year time he will be dead. And even though you know what happens in this movie, you know everything that's going to happen. It's very, I don't know, it's not like plot twist. It's a very enjoyable movie. And the soundtrack, it's awesome. And you do get attached to this pervert guy. You do care about him. I recommend. The second movie we watched was Groundhog Day. I really love this movie. It was like the third or fourth time I watched it. I was sick. So it's about, surprise, surprise, a douchebag guy. Sorry. And he's a douchebag. He doesn't respect women. He doesn't respect people at all. He's the weatherman at this TV station. And every year, the 2nd of February, he goes to this town that really resembles the Gilmore Girls Stars Hollow, actually. It could be Stars Hollow, this town. And in this town, every year, in the 2nd of February, they have this event where they grab a groundhog that is basically a gigantic squirrel that tells you, that predicts the time. And this squirrel is called Phil, as well as the main character, which is funny. And after he predicts the time, this year, for example, he says, we'll have winter for 2 more weeks. And everyone records this for the TV, and all the people are in the middle of the town, like celebrating. And Phil is just doing the cover of this day, very annoyed, like, oh, here is Phil. He's saying we're having another 2 weeks of winter, and he just wants to leave town. And when he's leaving, he's with a woman producer and a cameraman. They're stuck in the town because of a blizzard. And you basically notice that he's a douchebag. And when he goes to sleep and the next day he wakes up, it's again the 2nd of February. And you're like, what? And he keeps leaving the same day over and over again. And it's so funny because you see with over the days, you see him having different approaches of the day. He eventually discovers that he can even die because the next day he will wake up again. Like, none of his actions have consequences, and still he evolves to be this greater person. And there's at one point you're rooting for him to wake up in a new day. It's so funny. It's a very entertaining movie, and it's hopeful, and the main character is very funny as well. So, and there's also romance. So yes. The other movie I watched, the last one, was After Yang, and this movie is by a Korean director, and basically this happens in the future, where robots and clones are a regular thing that you can just buy, and they really look like humans. So basically the story follows this man and his wife. They've adopted a Chinese girl, and this detached man, he's very detached from things. They buy this robot for their daughter because they want the robot to tell her and show her and teach her about her Chinese heritage. But there's one day this robot just doesn't turn on, it's broken, and you see the man with him like it's a bag potato in his shoulder, like, oh, come on, let's go to school, hurry up, I have to take the robot to the store, it's broken. Like it's nothing, like it's just a robot, and you're like, okay, that's a human, it's just funny for you. And when he gets to the store, imagine like a Apple support, they're like, okay, we can recycle it and give you the money, or we can give you another robot. And the man, even though he's very detached for this robot because he's carrying him like a potato bag, he's like, no, I don't want you to recycle him, what are you talking about? And he starts caring for him, and he takes him to this underground garage where a man opens him up and says, look, this is illegal what they've done, because this is a huge, privacy, when someone is going into your privacy, like that's not good. But they've basically put a pen drive in this robot to record whatever he thinks are good memories to save. So if you want, you can see it. And the man takes the pen home and starts seeing the memories of this robot, starts seeing whatever is important to him, whatever is memorable. And this part is just beautiful because, first of all, in this movie, everything is very Korean-like. The house they live, the clothes they wear, the jobs they have. This man, he works in a tea shop. He owns a tea shop. And this robot, it's like his eyes are a camera and you're watching a YouTube video of the things he finds pretty and memorable. And it's so pretty. And all of a sudden, this man that thinks he didn't have feelings for this robot, he finds himself mourning his death because this robot doesn't seem to be waking up anytime soon. He really seems broken. He then realizes the robot is not second-hand like he thought because they bought him second-hand. He's in fact third-hand, so he can go all the way back to his memories from the first person that bought him. It's a very beautiful voyage. It's a very beautiful film. I really loved it. This is the vulnerability corner I have for you today. I was in a store the other day, a Japanese stationery store called Nakano. I will put some pictures down below for you to check. Pictures of the things I bought, like a little haul. And while I was browsing through the pens of this store, imagine a very pretty store with all the pens you can imagine, Japanese pens, so they're very specific and good. And I was trying all these pens, and I was daydreaming about, it would be so nice to have these pens and draw beautiful things with them. And then I was like, but I will bring these pens home and then I will draw things with them. And the drawings won't be nice. Because sometimes when I'm drawing in these stores, when I'm just doodling and experimenting pens, I'm having so much fun. And when I actually buy the pens and have them in my pencil case, I never actually use them. Because lately I've been drawing just for work. And then I had an epiphany. I was like, oh no, wait. I actually have the drawing dates. Because if you don't know, I host online drawing dates every month on the Espresso Club. Okay, I'll buy this pen and we'll try it. And then I started daydreaming again about, it would be so nice if I could maybe do some workshops here in Iceland. How can I start? How can I start getting into this workshop vibe? And I thought maybe I could start doing the online drawing dates here in Iceland for Icelandic people in English and also for other people in the world, but I would like Icelandic people to know about my work. Maybe if I'm doing this, it should be in my account, in my own Discord account. I'm very nervous about this because Iceland is a very small place. Everyone knows each other and I'm like, oh God. Now they will see my website, people I work with, they will see it, and it will be so awkward and weird. So I'm a bit scared and worried about that, but I still want to do it because otherwise I will be stuck in the same place. But I wanted to ask you for your support. So basically I want to do one drawing date this month on my platform, on my Discord platform. And if you're a friend that has been going to my drawing dates over at Espresso Club, or if you're just a long-time friend, maybe consider joining this drawing date on my new platform. I will link the link down below. You can just join the Discord. You don't have to engage much, you just join. And then when I launch the date, you participate, because in case some Icelandic person from around town shows up, I'm not alone and you can hold my hand online. I'm so scared. And that's it for today. I will maybe show you the drawing I did on this session, on this podcast recording session. It's also attached down below. I hope you had an amazing week. I hope you can, maybe if you want, if you own an agenda, go to your past week, to this week that passed, and look at it. Like, try to figure out how was your person last week. Was it in a hurry? Was it stressed? Was it nurtured? How were you? I will leave the picture of my week down below for you to see the mess I was at. And yes, I have no not much to tell you anymore. Just that. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday. I hope you have fun. And I will leave you the dates of this month Patreon things going on the next post. See you soon. Oh, wait, no. I have to give you a star. I'll give you a star. Here. Now get your hands like you have a bug in them. If you're on the bus and you're doing this alone and people look at you and think you're crazy, don't worry. They're looking at their phone. They're not looking at you. So just gather your hands and look at them like you have a bug in them. But actually you have a smiling star, a yellow fluorescent smiling star. And she's telling you, make a wish. And you're like, yeah, okay, but I don't know what to wish for. Well, I'll tell you my wish out loud so you can get inspired. I wish that I can randomly find a very nice music this week. Like a very nice song. One of those songs that just you want to listen hour after hour. Maybe you can link it to the comments or you can say which one it is and my wish will come true. Okay, bye.